So what happened is that, okay, so this is a continuation of our previous session. Okay, so what I'm actually planning to do today is going to be on the hands-on session. Okay, so I think this is the most important part where I think everyone is also interested to learn. Yeah, because I've already taught you how to the few things on the theories and all that, like the fundamental techniques of searching and where to search and things like that. So today, using the worksheet that I've shared with you all earlier, okay, I am going to go through that again. Okay, okay. So this was actually shared with you all earlier. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do today, basically looking at this slide again. All right, you will be able to search. Okay, you will search using the questions that I've actually shared with you earlier. Okay, the ultrasound shear wave elastography for the evaluation of renal pathological changes in adults with kidney disease. So what we will do today is we are going to use this question, okay, and we are going to find papers from our databases and also PubMed. Okay, so we have some time. Okay, we have until 4:30. So I hope everyone can bear with me for 1.5 hours. Okay, so let's try to work on this from our PubMed first, okay, from PubMed, and then we will go through the online databases. So you have already filled up your own worksheet, okay? So what I am going to do is using this question, okay, and this keywords, but you somehow will use the same technique, all right, and use according to what you have already, okay? If you want to follow me, it's okay also, right? So if you want to get used to the search technique and all that, then probably you can just follow what I'm doing, all right? So what we will do now is looking at this question again, all right, from the previous slide. So you already have a question. So for those who just joined us today, what we have done earlier was like we had questions and then we had tried to put everything in Pico, and then you have to look for alternative terms, okay? And then you need to find for synonyms and all that, and then you have to develop your search strategy. Okay, so by using the or, okay, and then you have the and, okay, you have to search for all the synonyms first and then list it down, all right, and then once you have listed down the synonyms, and then you just need to put it together, all right. So this is what you need to do, all right. So with the concepts that you have to combine them with and. So using the Boolean operator. Okay, so at the end of the day, you will have a complete search strategy. So this is how a complete search strategy looks like. So basically, when it comes to a question, okay, so I know you are doing your masters, so you need to come up with your research report and all that. So you have to do your search, right? So in order to do that, okay, by now I think you already know and you already have your question. Okay, so now how to search? Okay, so you need to prepare or you need to develop a complete search strategy like this. All right, so you need to have your keywords, all right, and then you have your medical subject heading. Medical subject heading is very important for the clinical side when you want to do your search, because medical subject heading will actually help researchers to capture more papers. Okay, not only focus certain okay, depending on the keywords alone. Okay, medical subject heading might capture papers that you might miss earlier. Okay, because sometimes we don't know, we might miss the synonyms. Okay, sometimes you don't know that these are the common names that they use for this certain disease. Okay, mesh will actually help you to capture all those missing keywords, okay, that you might miss as a term. Okay, so all right, so we will have a look at this and we will start on the hand for uh this keywords. Yeah, so let's have a look at this. Right, so sorry, I'm a bit lost here because I had like issues with the laptop just now. Such okay, all right, so let's see. Okay, so okay, this was the worksheet that I gave you earlier. Okay, these are the worksheet that I gave you earlier. Okay, so for those who joined today, earlier during my first session, okay, I shared with this to all. Okay, I asked you to fill up this form so that you can actually work on it straight away, or maybe you want to follow me first and then you do your own topic, your question later for yourself. Okay, right? So you have to fill up the PICO worksheet, and then you have to identify the databases that you want to search. And then the study design, if let's say you are doing, you are focusing only on randomized control trial studies, then you might just want to have, you just put it down there. So because why I'm telling that is because when you want to search later, you can actually use the filter for RCTs. Okay, there is already a template for RCTs. Okay, all right, and then you just from the PICO, you need to identify the keywords. Okay, from PICO, you need to identify what is the P. Okay, so the PICO. Okay, let's have a look at it again. So because sometimes you might forget about that part. Okay, let me have a look at this. Okay, so just to repeat again, yeah, from the PICO part, just to refresh again. Okay, so you have to identify. From your question, you need to identify your P, your I, C, and O. So you have to decide how many keywords that you're going to use. So for example, like PICO, you can actually search P and I. You can actually search P, I, and C, or it can be P and O, or it can be I and O. So it really depends. If you ask me, two concepts, you can start with two concepts first. You can either search P and I, or you can search P and O. Okay, if there is a comparison, you can actually search PIC. Okay, so we will try to start with two first. If you think that the keywords that you use is too broad, then what you can actually do is you need to add in another concept, because we want to try to explore as many many papers as possible first, because we don't know how many papers are there. If you put too many concepts, then you will actually restrict your search, and your search result will be very, very narrow. So we don't want that, and you might miss a lot of papers. Okay, so what we do now, we have to decide. Okay, looking at this again, all right, from this question, so I have identified my PI, C, and O here. So from this question, I identify it should be P, I, and O. Okay. If for the first time you look at this, usually I will just search P and I. Okay, I don't go for outcome first, because outcome can be very broad, right? But when I did my search, just using that P and I realized that it's too broad, because adult patients with kidney disease is already big, right? And then you have ultrasound shear wave elastography is already big. Okay, so what are the things that you're looking at both? So it doesn't make sense, right? Because there's nothing that you are going to look at. So you need to think whether to include the outcome. So the outcome will actually narrow down a little bit. Okay, so okay, look at the changes. Okay, the pathological changes. So your focus is going to be on the pathological changes evaluation. Okay, so I mean from the evaluation. So you have to decide based on your topic. Okay, so just very simple. So once you already identified your concepts that you're going to search, okay, fill up the form, okay, and see the keywords that you're going to use. All right, and then you have to list it down. All right, so list down all the keywords. All right, so list down all the keywords like this. Okay, you see, you fill up all the keywords like that, and then you see what you need to do next. All right, so what's next is, of course, it's going to be your mesh. Okay, you search for your keywords, and then of course you search your mesh. All right, once that, you also need to identify your key papers. Okay, key papers means papers that you think that it should be in your results, or maybe you should cite it, you know, like this is like the pioneer of that field, for example. So these are the papers that you think that should be in your results and things like that. So that's how you do it. All right, and then the inclusion exclusion criteria, be clear on what are the things that you want to look at, and then you need to come up with like report kind of thing, like what are the search strategy that you use, which database you search, right? So this is very important. Even you're not doing a systematic review, I'm just talking about the literature search for a literature review, because I know some of you are not doing a systematic review. It's just a basic literature review. For me, it's important because sometimes you might not remember what terms that you use, how was your search strategy and all that. So next time, if you want to search, you can just copy and rerun again the search. Okay, so that's why I think it's good to have a very neat documentation like this. Okay, so let's go to PubMed. Okay, let's go to PubMed. Okay, all right, so let's go to PubMed and we can try to search using all those keywords. All right, so looking at this, so I know this is a recorded session. So let's try searching, yeah? Okay, let me just off my video. Okay, right, so it will be a bit faster. Okay, so let's try with PubMed. Okay, so looking at this is the PubMed interface. I know everyone are familiar with PubMed, but you have to make sure when you're doing with PubMed, so when you are actually searching using PubMed, you have to remember that always this search box is always for basic search. Okay, if you want to do a quick search, of course you just search here. If you want to do a proper search for your dissertation or your research project, so what you need to use is the advanced search. I will always recommend everyone to use advanced search. Basic search only to do like if you're planning to do a preliminary search. All right, so looking at that again, okay, so this is the interface for advanced search. I am not sure how many of you are familiar with this, but if you have seen this before, okay, every button here, okay, every drop down button here has a function. Okay, so looking at this, this is the query box. So you have a query box here. So I will always play around with this, and then you have the history. So whatever search that you have actually done, okay, you have your search strategy. Always look at the history again. So this is the medical subject heading button. So you can always search for the mesh there. Okay, so now let's start. Okay, I hope everyone has the access already. Okay, you are already at the same page. I'm so sorry because
So
since
you all
this
can try doing it.
yeah, so everyone can try. Everyone can try together with me so that you know how to search. Okay. All right. So yeah, sorry, this is a hands-on session online, so it's going to be very hard for me to see whether are you okay or not. If you have question, of course you can always stop me and ask. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at the queries again, the search technique again, the strategy. All right. So look at this. Okay, look at this. So these are the keywords, right, that I have identified. All right, so what I will do is I will copy. Okay, so it's let's just take a few lah. We just take three. The first three. Okay, the first.
Anita, is it possible to copy that into the chat box as well so that they can
Yeah.
copy it across?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
Thanks.
faster, right? Okay.
Yeah, so then they don't type because
Yeah,
so
it will take
you
some time.
copy
Yeah.
it and so then they can copy it across on their side. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me just remove this. Okay, so I'll try this one. But don't forget, no, sorry, don't use that one. So I need to put this also. Hold on, yeah. I need to include the inverted comma here because there is a reason why I include inverted comma, because we want to make sure the system only search for that particular keyword. If you don't put that inverted comma, then your search strategy will be more, and then it will be everywhere. So we want to make sure the system is only searching for this particular keyword. So please use this one. Okay, copy this one, the second one. All right, so copy the second one and let's do it here. Okay, so this one, all field, please change it to title abstract and then paste it. Okay, let's copy. Okay, once you already copy, okay, do that. Okay, once you already copy and paste it, all right, let's add, click add. Okay, and then you see a search button here. There's a drop down button. You click add to history. I know some of you are using your phone to listen to this talk, but I think there's a recording, so you can actually look at it back again now, huh? All right. So this is only for first concept, but looking at title and abstract alone. You see, why title abstract? We want to make sure if you put all field, yeah, if you put all field, that means the system will search everything. Okay, we don't want that to happen. Sometimes this keyword can only appear in reference. So that is why you are receiving or retrieving many papers. Okay, instead of 113,000, if you put all field, you will get more than 113,000. Okay, so we don't want that to happen. So that's why we put title abstract. We are instructing the system to search only title abstract. Okay, so the next one is, okay, let's try this one. Okay, sheer elastography and all that. Okay, so let me just copy this and put in the chat so y'all can follow. Okay. Right, hold on, yeah. Let me edit this a little bit. Okay, if it's just one keyword, you don't have to put the inverted comma. Okay, just for papers that has more than one keyword. Keywords that has more than one word. All right, so I copy and paste it. So this will be the second concept. So let's copy this second concept and we paste it here. So the same thing. So we are actually searching systematically. All right. So go one by one. So first concept, only title abstract, search. Second concept, title abstract, search. So add this and add to history. Okay. All right. Okay. So you will have this. Oops, I think this one I missed the inverted comma here. Sorry, you need to edit that. Okay. All right. Okay, need to edit that bit. All right. So add that history again. Okay. So this exclamation mark here in red shows that there's something wrong with your search strategy. So when I click that, so there's a warning here, right? So I need to include the inverted comma. So I can just copy I can just delete this. Okay, I just want to make it more clearer lah. Okay, so I don't like to see the red exclamation mark there. Okay, because it's so annoying. Because sometimes you feel that, oh, there's something wrong with this, right? So that's why we want to make sure we avoid that. Okay, so we have a very nice search here just for first concept, second concept, and then let's move on to the third concept. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, let's do this one. So it will be third concept would be biopsy. Okay, you can actually just copy this. Okay, because the reason why I'm giving you without the title abstract is because I want you to see how it works in the system. Okay, that's why. So renal fibrosis. Okay, right. Okay, so this is the third concept. You can add that. Okay, so remember title abstract, biopsy, renal fibrosis, and histopathology. And then add that, and then you add to history. Okay, so step by step. Okay, look at this. So this is only looking at 3 concepts, but only looking at the title abstract. So what about medical subject heading? Okay, so how to search medical subject heading? If you notice, I have the combination of title abstract and also medical subject heading. So medical subject heading is very, very important. When you want to search, you need to make sure you get the correct medical subject heading. Medical subject heading is very broad. So you need to read up a little bit on the subject heading. It's not like everything you need to include. Okay. All right. So how to search this medical subject heading? Okay. So looking at this, all right. So I already searched because this is something that we have actually developed. Okay. So what we usually do is, let's say if you have your own topic now, okay, you have your keyword kidney disease as your pre-text term, right? So what I will do, okay, you go down and you see there is, if you go down, you can see here, there is medical subject heading, right? So we click on medical subject heading. And for each concept, you need to find for subject heading. If don't have, it's okay. Right? If don't have, it's okay. So what we do, we type in kidney diseases, okay, and we search. So any questions so far? Are you all following? Are you okay? Any question for medical subject heading? Hello, hi. So okay. So I don't know if you're following me.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, all right, great. Okay, so kidney disease. So you see, you read up a little bit on justification. Sometimes there are few options, right? So what you do, you just need to click the first one. Okay, click the first one. All right. So okay, I'll explain to you what is this subject heading it's all about, right? Okay, so what is important here is that we want to know what are the subject heading recommended or indexed by the medical librarian from National Library of Medicine. Okay, so they will capture any papers that are related to kidney disease. They will index them into this particular heading. Okay, so you read out a bit about the justification, okay, the description of what is it about, and then these are the subheadings. So let's say your keywords later, you only want to focus on certain subheading. That means you want to only focus on surgery, for example. So you can actually just click surgery. So kidney disease focusing on surgery. Okay, so you can just click this one. If let's say you don't want to put any, you don't want to restrict that to surgery, you don't have to do that. So it will also include everything here. Okay, if you only want to focus on certain subject, then probably you just need to click surgery lah. Okay, so if you scroll down, you will see that these are all the entry terms. Okay, so these are also keywords that they use lah. Like if anything related to disease, kidney, okay, they will just put that under this heading. All right, when you scroll down, okay, this is what we call mesh tree. Okay, it's a tree. All right, so you have the, I would say it's like a tree lah. Okay, so you have the mother here, okay, and then you have all the anak-anak all down there, you know, that kind of thing. So all these keywords is under kidney disease. All right, if you see here, you have kidney disease. These are all the other small disease like under kidney disease. So you see, for example, you have like all these, there's so many, right? Like anuria, diabetes insipidus, and all that. So you have nephrosis. So if let's say you want to only focus on nephrosis, okay, then you can just use nephrosis as your subject heading, because if you use kidney disease, it's going to include all the other small diseases here. Okay, so that's why you have to decide which kind of disease that you want to which kind of which subject heading or mesh that you want to look at. Okay, all right, any question for this one? No, yeah. All right, so when you look at this, if you decide that, you know, I want to look at this alone, but then what I've done here is I only want to look at the diagnostic part. Okay, I just want to look at the imaging part because this is biomedical imaging punya subject, right? So what I want to do, I don't want to look at all the other subheadings. I only want to look at diagnostic imaging. So what I do, I click diagnostic imaging. Okay, so what I do, I add to search builder. All right, so I add the search builder and then I search PubMed. That's it. So you will get this 31,000 papers. Okay, so you go back to advanced search, you click advanced search, you will see. So every search that you do, right, everything will go into your history. So this is where you will play around with your keywords. Okay, so let's see what happens, yeah? So once you have actually done this, all right, so the next thing that you want to do is you want to make sure you search all these keywords for their mesh. Okay, so for example, okay, let's see. I'm going to show you this also. So chronic kidney disease. So let's try again. So you go to mesh, and you search chronic kidney disease and you see what mesh recommends to you. Okay, so there's a few here. All right, so it can be renal insufficiency chronic. So when you click on this, okay, you might want to read up a little bit and see what is it all about. Sometimes it can be very broad, you know. So you have to really sit and decide whether you want to include this or not. Okay, so let's say, okay, you know what? I think I want to include this. Okay, so sometimes sometimes your study can only look at kidney disease but not looking at chronic disease, right? So but this one is looking at chronic disease. So you might think like, okay, you know what? I don't want to look at this because this is like chronic, for example, you know. So there are studies that I did a systematic review. What I noticed that some of them say, no, I don't want to look at the chronic part. I just want to look at the disease itself. So they include the chronic part. So you have to decide. Okay, looking at this, all right. So you see, these are all about the chronic disease. So chronic kidney disease. So you see, kidney disease is above here. So you can actually decide which subject heading that you want to use. Okay, all right. So this one I want to just ignore first lah. Okay, so I just want to explain to you how you look for mesh. All right, so going back to our advanced search again. Okay, so this is the first concept for mesh. So the next concept is shear wave elastography, right? So what I'm going to do, I copy that. Okay, and then I search for medical subject heading. Okay, so what we do, we search for mesh and we see what they recommend. Okay, don't have, right? Okay, so if don't have, we go for the second one. Okay, so we go for the second one. We keep on searching. Okay, we want to see whether there's any mesh or not. Okay, so every keyword that you search, you have to make sure you check already whether there's a mesh or not. If don't have, it's okay. If got, decide whether you want to include or not. Right, so you go down, you see, so they recommend, they index that as elasticity imaging techniques. Okay, so you read up a bit about the description. Okay, you know what? Okay, looking at this, all right, so look at all these keywords here. So these are also some idea of like what free text terms that you may want to use for your search. Okay, sometimes this will also help you lah, because sometimes if you go for dictionary and all the common terms that you find in papers, the abstract and all that, they will have some idea, but this is also another idea of how to get papers or keywords, right? So looking at this, right, so I want to focus on elasticity imaging technique. So, okay, I want to include this. So what I do, I add to search builder, right? So search PubMed. All right, okay, so you get 12,000 over there. So you go back to advanced search again. So you see it's already there. Okay, right. So now move on to the third concept. So looking at this, okay, I want to take this biopsy. I want to see whether there is any mesh or not. Okay, so make sure each concept you need to find for the mesh. All right, so let's see whether biopsy is there or not. Okay, if there is a biopsy here, okay, let's see. Okay, so if let's say you only want to look at biopsy, okay, all right, you want to include biopsy, you can do that. Okay, so what I will do, I will include biopsy. Okay, so I add to search builder and search PubMed. Okay, all right, so there is biopsy. All right, so as you can see here, we have a very nice combination of the keywords, right? So you have title abstract, you have medical subject heading. All right, so until this part, any question? Because it's important for you to understand this part before we try other databases. So these are the fundamental things that you have to know when it comes to searching. Searching, it can be it's either you do a simple search or a very comprehensive search, yeah? So this is I would say it's like a very comprehensive search strategy. Okay, so any questions so far? Can we move forward? Can? Okay.
I think to move forward, but I think post after the search, I think they also need to see like what exactly comes up as papers. Like, you know how there's quite a lot of papers. How do they then narrow it down to ones which are
Yes. Yeah.
relevant to them? Yeah.
Okay. All right, Arthur. Okay. So basically, once we already search all this, so it's important for you to know how to combine the search, right? So you remember we already have this. Okay, we have title abstract, we have medical subject headings. Okay, so all these you need to combine with OR. Remember, same concept, you need to combine with OR. Okay, and then all these second concept also synonym, same concept, OR. Okay, combine it. Why is it important to have OR? Because you are actually telling the system and you're giving options to the system to get more papers, okay, more keywords related to this. Okay, so what we will do now, we will combine the OR first. Okay, so you have the first concept here. So kidney disease, you have the first concept here, title abstract, right? So we want to combine now with the MASH. So kidney disease diagnostic imaging was the first concept, right? So we click on the three dots here, add with OR, and then add to history. Okay. All right. So you see it has 143,000 papers on the first concept. So the second concept now is this one, shear wave elastography. So you add query, all right, for title abstract, and then elasticity imaging technique, mesh, add that with OR. Okay, remember it's the same concept. And then there's 17,000 papers on the second concept. Okay, because that one is just looking at shear wave elastography subjects lah. Okay, and then the third concept, let's try to look at biopsy. So this is title abstract, right? And then now we want to combine it with OR biopsy mesh. Okay, this is just an example, yeah. If there are, definitely you need to include more keywords lah, okay, but we don't have much time to put everything. We just put few keywords. All right, so we just put add to history. Okay, so there's 620,000 papers on biopsy, renal fibrosis, and histopathology, for example. Okay, and then now what we're going to do is that we want to combine these three concepts with N. Why is important to use N? Because if you combine these three concepts, that means when you combine it with N, the results will have a combination of one of the concepts like this. So you will have concept 1, 2, 3 in your result. So you will have a very narrow number, narrow results lah, compared to if you don't do that. Okay, so how we do that? So the first concept we add query, and then what we do second is the second query add with N, and the third one is biopsy add with N. Okay, so let's see how many results you can find. So there are 82. Okay, because that's already very narrow already. Okay, so what we do now, let's have a look at these 82 papers and see. Okay, so look at the results. Okay, you will manage to get papers that are very relevant to what you want. Okay, so it's for me it's very important when you know how to combine your or and and. Okay, you will get a very relevant papers at the end. Right, in the end you will get very relevant papers to what you want. Okay, all right, so this is how we do the search in PubMed. Okay, any question that you want to ask me? So sometimes there are people will ask me, okay, there are students who ask me like how are we going to like filter? Okay, let's say you have like certain criteria. For example, your inclusion criteria, you only want to include papers that are like 10 years back. So of course you can reduce them here. Okay, so let's say if you want to only focus on certain years, you can actually put it around here. Okay, and then if let's say you want to only look at RCT, then of course you can filter RCT here. Or you want to look at a systematic review, you can click systematic review, for example. So you see, there is a systematic review, and yeah, so that's interesting, right? Okay, so that's yeah. So last year they have published this systematic review, and it's very interesting to see what keywords they use, okay, so what are the results and all that. So yeah, okay. So you see, sometimes usually clinicians will always go for the results, right? They want to see whether the shear wave elastography is a good technique or not for diagnosing mild and severe renal fibrosis and all that. So interesting to see there's a paper already. Okay, so because I did this research was like early end of 2022. So now there is already a paper here, so which is good. All right, so this is an example. So when you look at this, you can also look at the paper when we have the mesh. So they will also recommend what mesh they have used. So you can always have a look at this as well. Okay, so all right. So this is for medical, so this is for PubMed. And I know that you have attended the class on the anode. Okay, so if let's say you already have that
No, the annual class is not yet. That's
oh
after
okay,
you.
not yet. Oh, next
Yeah.
session is it, doctor?
Yeah, Tanya will be doing it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what we will usually do, okay, I will just share with you lah. This one is something that um I will always share with students where if let's say you want to know whether your search strategy is sufficient enough or not. Okay, sometimes you don't know, right, whether you have covered everything or not. You know, sometimes you're just doing a simple search, but you just want to know whether you are doing it right or not, okay, whether you are doing it correctly or not. So what I will do, I will save this and I will save all results, and then I will save it as CSV. Okay, CSV create file. So you will get Excel sheet like this. Okay, so your results will be in an Excel sheet like this. So from here, you can actually see your key papers. So remember I told you, right? If you have done your preliminary search and you think that, you know what, I think I need to make sure that this paper I've cited this paper because this paper is important for this study. You know, sometimes your assessor also will ask you like, hey, how come this paper is something? This paper is a very you know, it's the pioneer.
Landmark paper.
Sorry.
It'll be a landmark paper for that field.
Yes. Sometimes, yes, correct. So this is like this author is a pioneer in this study. So how come you didn't cite this person? You know, this kind of thing. So you don't want to miss that. Okay, so that's why we want to see all these key papers are found or not in the results. If got, means that at least get like 4 or 5 papers. Okay, 5 key papers. And if you think that, oh, okay, you know what, I think this paper is in this result. So yeah, so look at this. Okay, I think this is good enough. Okay, I think we should proceed. Okay, so we can just do your reading here. So I actually have few things. Okay, the library, they have this service on they have these few key features. Yeah, so they have these features that they have provided, okay, which is called the LibKey. Okay, maybe everyone can just try to Google for LibKey Nomad extension. Okay, I used to use this lah. okay, because I think it's quite useful for me. Okay. Um, okay. Sorry. So sorry, this is not my laptop. So if let's say you want this to be in your laptop, okay, you just need to add to Chrome. Okay, that means you have to add this to your Chrome. If you already have that, what will happen is that you will have this provided by the library. Means that the library has access. So when you have that installed, your papers can be directly read from that page itself. Okay, so PubMed will have uh the papers from there lah. So you just need to add that. So sorry, I don't know why is this, but yeah, whatever lah. Okay, so yeah, I need to install here. But never mind, you can try. You can try this one. Please do that, because if you notice that it's quite helpful actually. So you can actually install that in your laptop. Okay. Never mind. Just ignore that. That is just something extra that I want to explain to you all. Okay, so now we are done with PubMed. Okay, so the next thing is, let's say if you want to add that into your EndNote, okay, then of course that one is another session by Dr. Tanya. Okay, she will teach you how to export. So of course I'm just going to show you until here lah. Okay, so how you export this is you change this. Okay, you save. Sorry, you can actually send to, okay, citation manager, all results, and then you create your file. Okay, so it will automatically send to your EndNote. Okay, I'm sure Dr. Tanya is going to touch on that. So I don't want to touch on that. So I'll just okay, so let's try that next time. Okay, we can try that again. So of course you can change this display with the abstract if you want to read up your papers with the abstract. Okay, or you can just try change best match to publication date, or maybe you just want the latest papers, for example. Okay, looking at the latest papers, you can do that also. So you see, you don't have to click one by one. You just need to read the abstract straight away from here. Okay, all right, so that's done for PubMed. Okay, so if there's no question for PubMed, is there any question for PubMed before I move to the library databases? So I think we have like roughly around 25 minutes. So any question? No question?
I don't think we have questions, but later maybe, sorry.
All
Later
right.
maybe that worksheet which you got them to fill, you can ask some questions using that. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so now let's move on to the library database search. Okay, so from this database, what you can see, okay, from the library. Okay, so everyone
Sorry,
can.
Dr. Ranita, we have someone raised their hand.
I see. Okay. Yes, please ask the question.
Hi, sorry.
Yes.
I can hear me. No,
Can, doctor.
I was just wondering if I noticed that the medical subject heading terms is specific for PubMed, right? But can these similar terms be used in other sites like Google Scholar?
Okay, thank you for the question. All right. So for your information, medical subject heading is basically only for certain subjects. Okay, so not all the databases or platforms will have medical subject heading. Okay, only databases such as PubMed, okay, and then we have Medline, and then if you have Embase, they use M3. Okay, CINAHL, okay, you use they have the subject headings as well. Okay, so if you are using Medline via Ovid, they have Medline, they have subject headings. Okay, so for information, not all the databases use medical subject heading. Okay, so like Google Scholar Google Scholar is just it's a platform, right? It's a very open platform. So it's just a search engine, okay? Search engine that has no specific looking at medical subject heading. Okay, so it's a very general search. Okay. So for Google Scholar, no. Okay, we just need to use few keywords. Even if you notice, in Google Scholar, you can't include many keywords also. Okay, there's a limit of search keywords that you can actually use. Okay, Doctor?
Right. Okay. Understood.
Okay, so, okay, if we have time, we will just go through a few databases here, okay? All right, so for UM Library, okay, so how to access the databases from the UM Library? Okay, so you just go to UM Library, okay, click A to Z online databases, okay? I expect everyone know, I mean, I think you have seen this website. I think if you had my orientation during your first year, probably you might have, we have met before. Okay, I've shown you A to Z online databases. Okay, how to use it. Of course, there are all these 102 databases. But if let's say you don't know which databases are related to medicine, so what you do, you can actually limit this. Okay, you can filter this to medicine. Okay, so for example, if you want to look at medicine, right? So what you do, you click medicine. So there are 26 databases focusing on the subject medicine. Okay, so these are all the databases related to medicine. You can try. Okay, so I am going to show you one example, which is known as CINAHL. Okay, CINAHL complete at EBSCO host. Okay, let's try to use this database. Okay, so that again, let's try CINAHL. Okay, so it's called CINAHL. Oops, it's like, okay, CINAHL, click CINAHL. Okay, log in using your SISWA mail ID. Okay. Okay, change that to student. Okay, if you're using your student account. All right, so there is a question, I guess. Is there a question? No. Okay.
Oh, it's just loading.
Oh, okay. All right. So what you just need to do is, okay, so you log in. Okay, I'll give you some time if you are trying to log into the EBSCO host CINAHL database. So for your information, EBSCO host is a platform. Okay, under EBSCO host, there are few other databases that are available. Okay, so looking at this, okay, as you can see, so we have Academic Search Elite. Okay, we have CINAHL, we have Medline Complete. Okay, so there are questions asking me last time lah. Okay, they used to ask me, if I already search in PubMed, do I need to still search for in Medline? Okay, for your information, Medline is also from National Library of Medicine, but then Medline is really focusing on the data on the journals that are subscribed. Okay, so it's a bit more focused. PubMed is an open access database instead of Medline. Medline is a subscribed database, you know. So that's why when some people say that if let's say you're doing a systematic review, right, they will ask how come I already search in PubMed, I need to search also in Medline. Okay, I've done that before also. Even previously also I think I've published a paper which search in PubMed and also Medline. Okay, but there are some people argue that you already search, you can just search in either one. Something like that lah. Okay, so you have to decide. Right, so just to share with you about that. Okay, all right. So if let's say you only want to search in CINAHL, let's just go for CINAHL. Okay, so what we will do now, we can use the same search strategy. Okay, let's try using the same search strategy. But remember that this keyword you need to edit. Okay, because in CINAHL is a little bit different. Okay, let's try. Yeah, so these three keywords here, I am going to search here. Okay, I'm going to remove that title abstract thingy here because I want to show you that different databases will have different search technique. Okay, the platform is different, so you have to adapt to that particular platform. Okay, all right. Okay, so See, these are the keywords that so you have to remember when you do your search in few databases, you have to make sure you use the same search keywords, okay? You cannot simply change because we want to get the consistency of the results, okay? So that's why you have to make sure you use the same keywords, okay? All right, see, kidney disease, chronic, all the same. So what I will do, I will select a field. Remember, in PubMed, we have all field, right? But here, if you notice, the the interface for this EBSCOhost CINAHL thing is separated. Okay, title and abstract is separate. So what I will do, I'll click this for title first, and then I copy, I paste this with and I change to or, okay, and then I change this to abstract. Abstract, okay, I change this to abstract. You see, so previously PubMed, they use title abstract together, right? But here they are separate. So what I do, I change this title, I change this to abstract, and I search. Okay, right? So you have your results. So what you have to do next, okay, you just see your search history. So every time when you do a comprehensive search, okay, just have a look at the search history. Everything will be recorded here. Okay, it will appear under history. Okay, so next, what you do now, okay, move on to the second concept. Clear that, okay, clear your search box, and then take the second concept, which is the shear wave elastography. Okay, let's do that. Okay, copy and paste it. Okay, right. Okay, change this. Okay, how many databases do you think that we should search when you do your literature review? Okay, how many databases? Doctors, how many databases you always search? How many? One enough. Okay, so I will suggest at least try 3 databases because we don't want to because our results and all that, we don't want to really depend on one particular database. So what I would suggest is try to search at least 3. Okay, I think some of you are also looking at Google Scholar. Okay, all right. So if for your information, I'm not saying that Google Scholar is not a good platform to search because you must also remember when you search something in Google Scholar, they also include papers that are from predatory journals. Okay, because Google Scholar will actually, sometimes they will just they will capture everything from journals, right? So what you need to do is you need to make sure the papers are also searched from databases. Okay, like PubMed, and we have like if you subscribe databases like this, okay, try to also include all that. Okay, so search for the second second concept. Okay, see, it's already here, right? Title, abstract, or. Okay, so move on to the third one. Third concept. Okay, so we have biopsy. Okay, so I'm going to take this biopsy keyword. Okay, clear this. Okay, let's search for third concept. Only title, abstract, yeah. Okay, I know it's a bit confusing for those who are still new with this, but it's okay. You have to try. If you don't try, then you might not get the rhythm of searching for different databases. Okay, for me, I also sometimes I feel a bit a bit lost because sometimes the databases they will change the technique, the interface. So we need to get used to it, right? Okay, so search. Okay, so change title, abstract. All right, so we get the results. Okay, so now same for CINAHL, they also have subject heading, but what it's called here, it's called CINAHL subject heading. So you click CINAHL subject heading and you search. So for example, the first one, remember we had that kidney disease, right? Okay, so we want to search for kidney disease. So let's see what does CINAHL index in the system. Okay, it's called kidney diseases. Okay, if you want to have a look at that, click on kidney diseases, and you see they use all this. Almost similar, right? Almost similar with PubMed. So what you do, you decide to take or not. Of course, if let's say if it's related, of course you take lah. Okay, so you either can explode. Explode means you are including all this, yeah, all these disease as well. Okay, that means you are including all this. If let's say you only want to focus on kidney disease but only focusing on kidney disease paper, then you can just put major concept. Okay, so but for now I am just going to click kidney disease explode. Okay, I am just going to click on that. Oops, sorry, I need to put diagnostic imaging. Sorry, I missed that part. Kidney disease, and then I want to focus on diagnostic imaging because it's focusing on the biomedical side, right? So I just want to focus on that. What I will do, explode, and then I click diagnostic imaging. Is that okay? So I'm just going to take diagnosis, for example, here. Okay, and then search. Right. Okay, so my results is there. Okay, so find as many as possible lah. Okay, this one here I'm just going to delete because. Okay, so the same thing goes for the second one, which is your shear wave elastography lah. Okay, if there is any here, let's clear this. CINAHL subject heading and search. Let's see. Okay, all right. Don't have, right? So don't have. So what I will do next is I will just go back and search for elastography because that was the second keyword. So I'll just put elastography and see if there's anything related. Nope, nothing. Okay, then let's try elasticity imaging. See if there is a match for it. Okay, go back again and type in this one. Okay, see if there is any. Okay, also don't have. Okay, so don't have means it's okay. All right, it's either you want to put elastoma. So if let's say lah, okay, the subject expert will know better. If let's say elastomas is something related to what you are looking for, you can include them. If it's not related, then it's okay. All right, it's not like it's like a must thing to have it. Okay, and then next move on to the third concept, biopsy. So let's see whether there is biopsy for the subject heading here. Okay, biopsy is available. Okay, let's see biopsy. Okay, and then we can see whether we want to explode or we just want to put the major concept. So let's say I'm just going to put major concept. All right, so I'm just going to search. Okay, so let's see. All right, so let's just do a few ni lah. Huh? So you have to search, yeah. So renal fibrosis also you need to search whether there's a match or not. I mean the subject heading there's a subject heading for it or not. So clear this. All right, so now the same thing. Combine concepts that are same with or. So you have the first one here, kidney disease, okay, or all this, okay, and then with the second, with the same concept, subject heading, which is kidney disease, major heading, right? So you have these two combinations. So search with or. Okay, it's the same, right? Okay, so here you realize that they don't have, right? They don't have elasticity imaging techniques. So what we do, so we just leave it lah. Okay, there is no combination, for example. Okay, so the third concept, so biopsy, there was a match for it, right? So we combine that with or. Okay, search with or. Okay, now once you already have that, clear that. Okay, and then you see, so there is a combination here. So what you do, once you already combine your or, now you combine with the N. So what we do, this one, the kidney disease, biopsy, and then the shear wave elastography, combine it with and. Okay, very simple. So combination of or and only. Okay, so for example lah, okay, so there is 15 results. That's very less lah kan, because we are very focused on the diagnostic imaging just now. So and also show with elastography is also not that that commonly being used at times. So so probably that's why the results are not that much. And we also focus on diagnostic imaging alone. So probably it's not that much yet. So the results are here. So you see, interesting to see if you look at the search results, right? It's very, very relevant to what we are looking for. Okay? Yeah. So any question for this database? Okay, any question for this one? I think should be okay, right? No question. Okay, is it clear? Are you all clear with this?
I think give an example using the worksheet maybe.
Yeah, okay. So I have like, let me see if there is something that I have done before here. So for example,
Or if has anyone of y'all tried filling up your worksheet? So you have any questions in terms of when you're having trouble trying to list your own keywords?
yeah, because I am not sure how much you know about search, yeah. So that's why I can't like say you know, I don't know whether I should go in depth or you know, I just should teach you all the basic, but this is actually something that very basic. So yeah, I think should be okay lah. Let me see if there's anything that I can share with you here. I'm so sorry because this is not my laptop. So let me see. Yeah.
So while researching that, the other thing to consider is, you know how you showed you had all those, there's quite a lot of papers. How do they narrow it down? Because most of them probably won't be doing a systematic review write-up. They will be searching literature review to back up their original work findings and doing their chapter 2, which is the literature review chapter. And that's why they will search for papers. So how would they end up then I mean, it's not that you're going to read that many papers. So how do you exclude papers which are not necessary, rather than just narrowing down the years, like other ways of filtering?
I know. Okay, in terms of that, because I know due to times constraint, right? I know you have issues like you don't have time to go through all those papers. I know, because yeah, this is something that if you are doing a very comprehensive search and you think that this is something that you might want to include everything, then okay, this is the technique. But if you are doing a very quick search and you think that it's important for you to like get it fast, okay, that means that you just want to like search, of course, I would suggest to like, you know, yeah, like what Dr. Gauri said, you can restrict in terms of the year, okay, and probably sometimes you can also restrict
To the language, just to English.
yeah, language is also one thing, okay, but then what I will usually say is that actually there's a very in-depth technique lah, okay, because there's also few other things that there's a tool for it, okay, like what we can actually do. So what I will suggest is you always try to play around with your EndNote, okay, because when you export everything into your EndNote, there is yeah, I think that one Dr. Tanya will cover up on that, because in your EndNote you can actually search for the keywords, okay, if like directly you want to look at certain papers, okay, like for example like this one, right, you have this one here. So probably you just want to like Control F and see if there's papers really focusing on that particular uh you know, like certain keywords, okay, then you can just straight away, you know, just do a quick search like this. Okay, some of you was asking me about the Google, right? Okay, so from Google Scholar, sorry, Scholar, Okay, from Google Scholar, you can also search, but then wow, it's Malay. Okay, so oh, how do I change my language? Oh yeah, bahasa. Okay, so if let's say you want to search in Google Scholar, you have to remember that there are not many keywords are required here. That means there's a limit of search keywords. Okay, so what you need to also know techniques such as, like, for example, like this keywords here, right?
NNO. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, doctor?
You're saying techniques is using the N and O when you search and putting the
Yes,
inverted
correct,
commas and
correct.
all of that.
Ah,
Yeah.
correct. So basically, what will happen is that you have to remember when you want to do a quick search, sometimes you just use few keywords. Okay, but in Google Scholar also they use very few keywords. Okay, so you just take the main keywords. Okay, so for example, kidney disease, chronic kidney disease, and then you just put that. Okay, so for let's try one. Let's try one. I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, the technique is, actually there's many technique. Okay, but we don't like really have so much time to like show everything. Okay, so let's do this. So okay, instead of or, we use this. Okay, all right, instead of or, we use the type sign here. Okay, and then what we will do next is we can also put A and D, and also there are another technique that there's the symbol for A and D also, but then I'm not going to use that. I use A and D as one keyword, and then I will continue lah. That means like you have elastography, okay, then we put the pipe sign here. Okay, pipe instead of or, because we want to limit your search. Okay, so that's why we change that to the pipe sign. Okay, instead of putting or. All right, so I think I can't remember for A and D. I think we just need to like, sorry, yeah. So for A and D, I think we just need to, I can't remember what was the thing, but then you just need to do this like, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we want to avoid the the keywords or the numbers of letters we use here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, you see? So you get a very specific number, okay, of search. I mean, it's a bit
And it's not limited to articles, it will also include sometimes websites and all of that as well.
correct. It also includes books and all that. So that's why. But okay, so the okay, answering to questions from Dr. Gauri, right? How do we like limit the search and then like straight away look for papers? Because I know we have limited time, okay, to read through all the papers. What I will always do is that I will always read up the first few number of papers first. Okay, like, so if let's say you have 100, let's read for first 50. So usually the first 50 papers will be the ones that we usually want to cite lah, like that. Okay, so you can actually limit to that also. Besides, the year and year of publication and things like that. So yeah, so that's how we do it lah. Okay, so usually the first few 50 papers, you can actually look at it. Okay, of course we will look at the best match lah. Okay, so the best match is something that I will go for, okay, when I want to write my paper, something like that. Okay, yeah, so any other questions? So is there any other question for the databases? Oh, I have one Julia here also. She is our medical librarian. She replaced me, so she's here today with us. So if you have any other questions that you want to ask, okay, any other question that you want to ask? No question.
Anything to clarify in regards to what? Sorry. Is there anything from what you were trying out on filling up the form? Anything which you want to clarify? You can ask now, because the session will end in another 5 to 10 minutes time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so another thing that I will always do when I want to start my research, I will always look for theses. Okay, so what I will do is that when you want to start writing up on something, you might want to have a look at the theses that are similar. Okay, so what I will usually do is either I just Google for similar topic, or I will search for similar theses or dissertation that are related to my topic, and I will look at their method section. So from the library website, you can actually get that thesis and all that from ProQuest dissertation and thesis global. This is where you can read up on the thesis that has been published in international universities. Okay, so for example, yeah, so I'm just going to click on dissertation and thesis. So let's say I'm just going to have a look at the I don't know lah. Okay, I'm just going to put this here with elastography. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm just going to put this and then something lah. Okay, and kidney disease, for example. Okay, and I'm just going to search. Okay, let's see. All right, so you can see these are all the theses that we have from other universities, and you might want to have a look and see how they have conducted their research. Okay, if it's available. So sometimes you want only full text, right? There are some why you can't get full text sometimes because of the restriction of the university lah. Okay, but I think if you restrict that for full text, you still can get papers or you can read up for any papers that that are relevant to you. Okay, so let's say I'm just going to take one of this to see if I can get access to it or not. Okay, you can read up the you see, so there's a thesis online here, right? So this was okay, this is from where North Carolina. Okay, so you can actually read up. So this is also a good technique of how you want to start writing. Okay, because sometimes you don't know how to conduct your search. I mean your own research, right? So I would suggest for you to actually look at all this lah. Okay, these are also another option of how to start. Okay, for Malaysia, we have this website called Myto. Okay, so Myto is for all the theses that are published in local universities. So same thing lah. Okay, so if let's say you have something on kidney disease or whatever, okay, and then put lah whatever. Okay, so for example this one. All right, so let's say if you want to read up on this, okay, then you can just click this and you can see whether it's available online or not. Okay, sometimes it's available, sometimes it's not available because the restriction of the university. Okay, if you can, then you can read up lah. So it's called Myto. Okay, yeah. All right. Any other questions? No question. Okay, looks okay. So I think, doctor, I think there's no question. Yeah. So all good? Is it okay? Is it clear? Is it clear?
I do find it clear. I just think that they need to try with their own keywords, because that's when you really know whether you're having issues finding papers or if you're finding it hard to narrow it down. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Because if let's say if you have issues like coming up with a search strategy and all that, of course you can always try to reach out to the librarians at the library. So probably they will help you to come up with very nice search
Can I ask something about that? So how do they actually make those kind of appointments if they need to? Like, I mean, now I know that you are not with Faculty of Medicine, you are already with the other faculty, but how do they actually make appointments to troubleshoot these kind of things with the librarian at the medical library? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So of course you can meet Puan Siti Juria. Her email address is Siti. Okay, let me type in her email address. in the chat box. Okay. Or maybe I will send through the email lah. I'll give Puan Nick
Yeah,
email
the
address
email, yeah.
and
So
contact
does the
detail.
library also run EndNote hands-on, and although Tanya will be doing the talk and doing hands-on online, do you guys actually run EndNote classes?
You can request, doctor. You may request from the head of medical library.
Yeah.
She will arrange the class. It's by request because
Okay, so
sometimes
it's, yeah. So you don't have a fixed one anymore, like yearly, like how
we used to have it at the main library, central
main
library.
library
So
has it.
yeah, but the thing is, I know clinicians, it's for them, it's hard for them to go to the main
Yeah,
library.
main
So
library
that's
is
why,
just,
yeah. So for
so then
FOM,
if
I
you
think
request, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
maybe you can
Thanks.
arrange with the
No,
library
I think
and
I'll ask
one
it
day.
to then RTU, like with the research office, and see if they can organize one. Because there might be people from other medical departments, not just ours. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, true. We can do that also. We can get our colleague here to help. Yeah, no
But
problem.
either way, Tanya will be running it, but it'll be like this kind of platform where it's online, and like just like how you're searching, they will try and do it on the background. But
Mm-hmm.
it will be nice sometimes to go in a physical location and use the desktops at the library. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the
Thanks.
reason why we don't do as a whole because sometimes the timing, okay, because
Yeah.
probably for surgery,
Yeah, during 9 to
yeah,
5, during working
yes,
hours.
you have
Yeah.
allocated some time for the students here. So, but then
Yeah.
for other department, they have different times. So that's why when I was at the library, I will go by request because they have different timing, and they have
Yeah.
actually allocated for us this time for their students. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Does anyone else have any questions? If not, we'll be ending today's session. The next one will be Nadia next week, right?
Perfect.
Next Tuesday?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Rita.
Yeah, welcome.
Do share the email address. I think that might be helpful if they just want to have a personal consultation. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
No problem, Doctor. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Anita.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.